What's up, y'all? It's your girl back with another TV Talks, and today we need to dive deep into this whole sisters conversation about Zac and Karen because the fans are talking and I got some thoughts. So, listen, people are saying Zac and Karen shit wasn't toxic in the beginning, and honestly, I gotta agree with that. When you go back and look at season one, you can see the chemistry, the love, the history. They were two people who had been through a lot together, and that connection was strong. Zac didn't have money, he didn't have stability, but Karen was still there. She was the one who saw his potential even when he couldn't see it himself. But let's be real, potential doesn't pay the bills, and love without growth, that turns sour real quick. That's where the toxicity started to creep in. Karen wanted more from Zac, but Zac wasn't in a place to give it yet. And instead of walking away early, they both stayed in it, which made the fights nastier and the energy between them heavier. That's where the breakdown began. Now, let's fast forward to Aaron. On paper, he's everything Zac wasn't: a good guy, a man with a career, financial stability, spiritual grounding. He literally walked into Karen's life offering her the security that Zac couldn't give. So the question is, why did Karen treat him toxic in the beginning? Why did she push him away, talk to him crazy, act like she didn't want the good man? He was standing right there in front of her. See, here's the thing. Sometimes when you're used to dysfunction, peace feels uncomfortable. Karen had spent years going back and forth with Zac, arguing, forgiving, hoping, getting disappointed. That cycle became normal for her. So when Aaron stepped in with calmness, consistency, and no games, it felt foreign. It felt almost too good to be true, and instead of leaning into it, she rejected it. She tested him. She treated him like he was disposable because deep down she was scared. Scared that if she let her guard down again, she'll get hurt the same way she did with that. And let's be real, y'all. Aaron walked into a messy situation. Karen was still emotionally tied to Zac. That love, that history, it didn't just disappear because a new man came around. She was conflicted, and that's why she gave Aaron such a hard time in the beginning. But here's the kicker. This is how it started with Zac too. When they first got together, Zac wasn't perfect. He came with flaws, with struggles, with immaturity. Karen put up walls with him too. That the difference is she stayed long enough with that to get comfortable in that dysfunction. With Aaron, she resisted from the jump because she wasn't ready to start over, not really. So when fans say Zac and Karen weren't toxic in the beginning, that's true. But we gotta remember, relationship doesn't always start toxic. They become toxic when growth doesn't match and when love can't carry the weight of unmet needs, and that's exactly what played out here. Now, the real tea is this. Karen's story shows us something about real life. Sometimes the good guy shows up and you don't know how to handle him. Sometimes you miss out on blessings because you're too used to the struggle. And Sisters gave us that storyline in the rawest way. But I want to hear from y'all. Do you think Karen ever really gave Aaron a fair chance? Or was she always going to be tied to that no matter what? Drop your thoughts because this conversation is one we got to keep going. Bye.